Yes, the Knicks have the best firepower, at least in my opinion, in the league, but defensively we're 23rd, and a lot of that, pretty much all of that, is because of OG Anunoby. He's putting together an All-NBA season, which we'll get into at the end of the video. Now, obviously, this is a new team. Mikal Bridges has struggled on both sides of the ball. Cat defensively has held his own. Brunson's held his own. But we just haven't played the defense that we saw in the second half of last season. That was the best in basketball. That gave even the best teams troubles. It's just a lot of chemistry. It's also health. Mitchell Robinson and Precious Achiuwa have not played this season. We should get Achiuwa back within the next couple of games. And then Mitch's goal, according to him himself, is going to be December 25th on Christmas. We have the first game against the Spurs. Correct me if I'm wrong. So hopefully we can get Mitch for that. I highly doubt it. To be honest, I'll probably come back next year at some point. So let me just give you my overall thoughts on the team and the defense. We'll get into the metrics, things like that. I got a lot of notes with me. So we're just going to go down the list and talk about players. We're going to start off with Jalen Brunson because he's the captain of this basketball team. So last night, Brunson goes out there, starts off on a 9-2 run himself. He finishes with 17 assists. His previous career high, I believe, was 14th, which was in a game last season. He also goes 8 of 14 from the field, 4 of 5 from 3, 23 points. This is why I love the addition of Cat, because the Knicks have an offensive player as good as Brunson. So he can go out there and he can just distribute the ball. He doesn't need to drop 30, 35 like in the playoffs for the Knicks to have a chance. Cat can handle his own. He had 30. OG had 42. He's picked up his scoring. The last 6 games, OG has scored 24 or more 4 times. We're going to get everyone. But just the thing with Brunson is that offensively, he's doing exactly what he did last year, but now he's passing the ball more. Brunson's always been a very good passer, but again, he was asked to score. No Randall. Now you add in Cat, you've got Mikal, who has struggled, but still, OG, Josh Hart is scoring more. So Brunson being the distributor is exactly what the Knicks need. And also when they need him to lock in with the scoring, he's capable of doing that, as we've seen time and time again this season. Talking about Karl-Anthony Towns, Cat is having a historic start in Knicks history. He has become the fastest player in franchise history to record 400 points and 200 rebounds. He's also the fastest Knick since the 1965 season to score 400 points. My thing with him is his efficiency. He's shooting very well from the field. I believe it's 55%. I have very slow connection right now, so I'm not going to be able to check. But it's well over 50%, guys. He's getting to the basket. He's also knocking down jump shots. And he does not isolate that often. Sure, he'll go down in the post. But Cat, as soon as he catches the ball, is shooting it or moving it. And I'm just loving what I'm seeing out of him. I couldn't have asked for much better out of him. And defensively, he's held his own. He hasn't hurt the Knicks. He hasn't been an elite defender by any means. But he's sort of like Cameron Payne, to where he's playing extremely well offensively, and defensively, the effort has been the difference. And then in terms of OG Anunoby, which to me, I'm not going to say it's been a surprise because he has the largest contract in Knicks history. We expected this out of him. But it is a surprise to me, honestly, to see him in the All-NBA conversation. All-Star, you don't see very many 19 points per game players make it. I think there's only been 15 in NBA history. I think OG is going to become the 20th because you have to understand that he does not dribble the ball. He rarely even touches the ball. When he gets it, he's scoring immediately, efficiently too, which is what I love about OG. His jump shot has been on a different level this season from 3, from the mid-range. He's finishing at the basket as best as he has in his career. He's getting to the free throw line the best he has in his career. And as I said earlier in the video, the only reason the Knicks defense ranks 23rd is because of OG. And previously, OG has always been a good corner three-point shooter, but now he's not relying on it like he was with the Knicks when he was traded here and with the Raptors' entire career. He's knocking down threes from the top of the key, both elbows. It's just a beautiful thing to see. Yeah, of his 5 3-pointers, only 2 came in the corners last night against the Nuggets. Entering the season, 43.4% of his threes came in the corners, the shortest and easiest triples, of course, on the court. When he actually got to the Knicks last season, it went up to 58.7 in those 23 regular season games, and he's now down to 34.7. So OG's expanding his game, and because of that, it's helped the Knicks get to that elite level offensively to the point where they're looking unstoppable. And this is with Mikal Bridges not having found his shot this entire season. And I know I said a couple of videos ago that I trust Bridges. He has sort of let me down. He's not been knocking on open shots. He's also taking a lot of shots at this point. You like him to just give it up. If he's wide open in the corner for a 3, obviously you shoot that. But in terms of just trying to force anything, that should not be the plan right now, especially with how well OG Brunson and Cat are playing, and Cameron Payne, who we're going to get into next. For Bridges, though, defensively, he was great last night against the Nuggets. He helped shut down. Jamal Murray was just 1 of 5 from 3. Jokic was 2 of 7 from 3. Him, OG, Cat, all made it extremely difficult on the Joker. He also only had 7 assists. I said in my video last night that a quiet game for the Joker is 22, 7, and 7. Well, that's what the Knicks did to him. They made him struggle. He was playing at a historic pace. I said in my video last night that the Joker, a 27 and 7 game, was quiet for him. You got to remember that the Nuggets coming into this game were first in offense with Jokic on the court, and they were the worst team in the last 20 seasons with him off the court. So to go out there and to shut him down, to make him just 9 of 20 is extremely impressive, and Bridges deserves a lot of credit for that. Also against Jamal Murray, defending him 6 of 13 is good efficiency, but 20 points, the Knicks can live with that because you know you're getting more than 20 from Brunson, and you know you're getting more than 22 from Cat. So if you can just match Murray and Jokic, you pretty much have that on lock, unless the rest of the guys do nothing. But an OG is not going to score 40 every night, but he's going to give you probably 20 a game the rest of the year. That's how well he's playing, so you'll take it. And then Russ also at 27. You could talk about the struggles from everyone else, but Russ at 27 on 9 of 16. I don't know if he'll do that again this season, if I'm being honest. Maybe like one more time. But 4 of 7 from 3, I highly doubt it. Russ got hot in that fourth quarter, man. I mean, if he wasn't 4 of 7, imagine their efficiency from 3, because with that, they were 33.3%. But I do want to talk about a couple of more players. We're not going to have time, unfortunately, for everyone, but we've got to get into Cameron Payne because he deserves a lot of credit. I actually might make a separate video. I think I'm gonna make a separate video for Cameron Payne because there's a lot to get into for him. But in terms of what is next for the Knicks, and then we'll wrap it up here. So our game is going to be tomorrow against the Dallas Mavericks. That's a huge game. I know they're without Luka, but the Mavs are hot right now, and we just want to keep the momentum going because the Knicks, they lose to the Jazz after having won 4 in a row, and then they blow out the Denver Nuggets in Denver. If you could follow that up with a win over the Mavs, and then you know you've got a soft schedule coming up. I mean, look at this schedule, guys, for us of what's to come. We're looking at, of course, this Mavericks game. And then we got the Hornets, Pelicans, Magic, who are without Banchero, Hornets, Pistons, Raptors, Timberwolves, Pelicans, Raptors, and then Spurs on Christmas. That's a lot of games I just named, but the Knicks should be favored in all of them, and they should be able to go out there. Maybe not the Timberwolves game on the road. We probably will be, honestly. I think the Knicks will be favored in all of those games. And if we're not favored against Minnesota, it'll probably be like -3. It'll be very, very close, which is barely an advantage. So this is a chance for the Knicks to cover some serious ground in the NBA standings. The only teams we're trailing right now are the Cavs, who are in first place at 17-1. We're only 6.5 games out, though, which is kind of crazy. And then the Celtics, who are 15-3, we're only 4.5 games out of them. So 17-1 seems incredibly good, and it is incredibly good. But then you think about it, the Knicks are 6.5 games back, and they can cover a couple of the games ground within Christmas. A couple of games is a lot of games, man. And all of a sudden you blink and the Knicks are 3 games out. So I'm pretty stoked about where the team's at. We are 23rd in defense. We're giving up, I believe, 14.5 threes a game. Yeah, 14.5 threes per game. That only 3 sub-500 teams are worse. But the Nuggets were outscored 64-46 in the paint. We only allowed 8 transition points. Denver was averaging 53.7 points per game in the point and 19 fast break points. So if we can continue to defend teams like we defended the Nuggets, we've got a great chance to make some noise this season. And I'll keep you guys updated, man.